That crow is saying good morning, and I'm saying good morning. It's another beautiful day in the forest and on the mountains and conquering and pressing forward to Mama Kay in Maine. Still a few days away from that, though. I don't see that happening in the next week or so. Oh man, so on my video from the last video, there were actually two summits I did not call out. I thought I had crossed some summits, but I had not seen them on the map, and that's because they were on the other map and not on Far Out. I've noticed that Far Out navigation does not necessarily always tell you when you're on a summit. So that's why I'm glad I used two different ones. I think the other one I use lines up more with like the U.S. Forest Service or whatnot. I don't really know. They just have a little more detail on where you are and in proximity to summits and such. Summits being obviously the highest point of a mountain. But Balsam Mountain is, and Wilbur Ridge is, in the bag. So after going through Mount Rogers, after Buzzard Rock, and then through the Grayson Highlands, and up and over the different mountains and summits there, and then coming down into the Scales, and then up over Pine Mountain through the rocky trails and rooted trails there, continuing on. I got off at Dickey Gap, and then I took a zero yesterday. So that is why there's 2 days on this video instead of one. I didn't really get any video footage while I was there because it was just about resupplying and eating. Just kind of put the phone to the side, charged it up, and did my business, and rested, relaxed for today. It was a real rainy, soggy day, so it was a good day to take that zero. I was still wet from Buzzard Rock a couple nights before with the dew and everything that happened there and humidity, so it was good to dry out and get some rest. My body didn't really need it, but it's always good to get it anyway, but my body definitely needed the calories. So always glad to have the town food. Marion, Virginia is where I stayed, about 5,000 people, small little town, but it's a busy small little town, almost like it's more than 5,000, but it says 5,000 for population. It's a little misty right now. Not supposed to rain today, so hopefully it's just mist from being up in this fog. But while I was there, I stayed at the Merry Inn, which is, that's Merry Inn. It's a play on words, because it's Marion, get it? I didn't know if you could get that just by saying it. If you see the spelling, it's obvious that it's a play on words, but just me saying it, you're probably like, why does this guy keep saying Marion over and over again? But Coach, who is the owner of the outfitter, he's also the owner of the hostel, which is above the outfitter shop downtown. Great host, and great little place to stay, great outfitter store. Check it out when you're in the area. I would definitely check out Pioneer Restaurant as well. It's right down from it. Great breakfast, great lunch. Got my famous ground steak with A1 and pinto beans and cornbread and fries. Didn't get the corn. They didn't have any corn. Well, at least I didn't notice it. I normally get corn with that meal, but it's one of my go-to meals in a diner when I come into a town. Just tastes so good. Tastes like home. But anyway, it's a nice little stay. Check out the Pioneer Restaurant. Nice little diner. Open till like 3 in the afternoon. Breakfast and lunch. But great little place. Glad to get the rest, and glad to be back on trail now. And going to have a great grinding day. Getting some miles in. And on my way to Perrysburg here in the next few days. I have a package coming with my Nick's set of shoes and some other goodies from my beautiful wife back home. And my Nick's pants. I have the same pants in like a couple different sizes because I know I lose so much weight out here. So she sent me the next one because I've already lost so much weight. These are falling down way too much. So that's also on its way. A little different color though. These are gray and those are yellow. So now everybody will see me on the trail. There's not an animal around that's going to think, oh, he's just part of the forest. They'd be like, what kind of worldly peacock is that thing? But anyway, it's going to be a great day. Climbing right now. Not a hard climb, obviously. I'm not even losing my breath, even while I'm talking. A little misty. I'm hoping that clears out so it's a nice dry day. But we'll take whatever the trail gives. All right, let's conquer this. Let's move north. Foggy up here. This is about, I think, 3,500, 4,000, somewhere in there. Wasn't foggy earlier in the day. So I'm not sure if it's only up high or if it's down low too. I haven't went back down low yet. Went back down. Something didn't sound right about that. I haven't been back down low yet. So the next gap, be curious to see if it's foggy there too. It's quite humid and misty. I took my base layer off, so I'm just in the t-shirt here. And feeling quite damp. Backpack was quite damp as well. Actually, right here is a fog is clearing. So hopefully it will be dry later today because I don't really want to be all damp again. Oh well, it is what it is. I don't think it's going to get like cold overnight until like a night or two. Not tonight, I don't believe, or tomorrow, but I believe in a couple days it's supposed to get down close to freezing at night. So those will be drier days, so it won't be as bad because cold is one thing and rain is one thing. Put those two things together and it's a totally separate thing. So hopefully it'll be drier today. It's not calling for rain, just cloudy today. So I think it's just the early morning fog that happens sometimes in the mountains and so forth. Oh, you gotta love the blowdowns. Here I am, just minding my own business. Walking in the forest, up and down the mountains on this trail that they call, what's it called? Oh, the Appalachian Trail. Have you ever heard of it? Anyway, I digress. One of those moments where food gets into my mind and won't let go, grabs onto me like a tick, burrows into your skin, and just won't let go. And so here I am thinking about all this yummy food that I love and I want to eat. And all of a sudden I remember that I picked something up in Marion on resupply that I'm super excited about and wish I wouldn't have thought about it because now I can't get it out of my head. but I've never seen it or heard of it. Didn't know it was even an option. And I love things like that because I get excited that, ooh, I get some new flavors on the trail. I like change when it comes to food. I like to mix things up. I don't like to eat the same things all the time, and blah, blah, blah. So you know that one of my, if you've been watching me for a while, you know one of the snacks I do like to have with me is combos. Combos is a pretzel with a filling on the inside. They have like a nacho cheese layered dip type of one. They have pizzeria. They have pepperoni pizza. They have cheddar cheese. They have blue cheese and buffalo. All of these are great, and I love to have them with me because when you sweat a lot, you lose a lot of salt. So it's good to have a salty snack, and that's my go-to salty snack. And it fills you up good because unlike a chip that's really light, I love my chips, don't get me wrong, it's not really easy to bring those with you in your backpack. They get all crumbled up, and then who wants to eat crumbled up chips? Unless you're putting them on a tortilla with peanut butter and pepperoni and cheese. Mmm! Oh my goodness, I'm too hungry for this. But they had a flavor that I've never seen before, and I can't wait. Ranch dressing flavored combo pretzels. That's going to be delicious. I'm telling you right now, I know, and I haven't even had them, and they're going to be delicious. There's a problem. I can't have them yet. I still have the pizzeria ones in my Ziploc bag. I always put combos in the Ziploc bag because if you keep them in their regular bag, number one, it's added weight, so I always get rid of all those the containers they come in, bags, boxes, whatever. But also, if you rip open a combos bag, it's going to keep ripping and they're going to get all over your backpack. And then a bear is going to smell your backpack that smells like combos, and that's not going to be a good thing. So I just avoid the whole thing and put them in a Ziploc bag. But I don't have room for more than 2 Ziploc bags full of combos in my bear can. So I need to eat the pizzeria ones before I open the other one. So I have a funny feeling I'm going through the pizzeria combos today rather quickly because I really want the ranch dressing combos. Have you ever had them? You ever heard of them? I can't wait. Oh, I think there's a honey mustard one too that I've had. There's a lot of different flavors, but there's the main ones that everybody has, and every once in a while in different parts of the country you'll see different ones. First time I've ever seen ranch, and I just wanted you to know I'm really excited. I don't know what's up with that. The gate is supposed to be closed, and for some reason it didn't quite fit in there. I don't know. Must just been the way somebody closed it. They put these gates up sometimes, like when you're getting close to meadows and such. I guess they'll just let anybody in. Fortune's running wild. It's turned out to be a really nice morning so far. About an hour before noon, and right around 9 miles so far for the day. No fog anymore. I don't know if you could see this. These mountains behind me look real nice. You could see some meadows and farmland there. Then over here, you just got the deep mountains. No real valleys or anything over on that side. Might not be able to see it though through the trees and everything, but it looks real nice. The fog has rolled away. It's just a cloudy day, and I don't mind that at all. I like cloudy days too. I prefer sun, obviously, because it's clear. It's vitamin D. It darkens my skin. That's the beach bum in me talking there. But I do like the cloudy days. It's a little less on the head as far as headaches and stuff, and on the eye strain, and so cloudy days are good too. The fog, I love the look of it, but I don't necessarily like hiking through it for too long, because it gets to be a little bit much as far as vision and seeing and so forth. So I'm glad that's rolled out of here. I'm glad it's a dry day and a nice cloudy day just to get some miles and walk on the ridges. Not a lot of summits as far as I know today, if any, but a lot of ridge walking, up high, down low, back and forth. So a lot of valleys and meadows and stuff that I can see through the trees. I don't know if any of that opens up at any point, but it sure is beautiful, really nice and green. And one of the many reasons I love the state of Virginia so much. It's just a beautiful state with a lot of green and valleys with farms and history and so forth and so on. So it's going good so far. I didn't expect anything else, because even if it's not, I'm still going on. I'm still gonna hike. It's beautiful today though. I love it. All right, carrying on, the next partnership, next shelter is called Partnership. That's right at the office of Mount Rogers headquarters for this whole area. We're a long way from Mount Rogers here, but it definitely is the office for Mount Rogers and I guess this whole area. So then after that, about 7 or 8 miles is another shelter, and that's probably where I'm heading to tonight. A lot of rocky uphill type of stuff around there. So once I get to the Partnership here in a few miles, about another 2,000 feet and 7 or 8 miles to that one. So it'll be a 20+ day again. Every day probably from here on out will be 20+, unless I just decide I'm tired today, I want to stop, which I've done before, especially on a sunny day. Stopped at a shelter and just sunbathed. Haven't done that this year yet, haven't been able to, but I don't know. I call the shots daily, meaning I don't really ever know where I'm going, have an idea of where I'm going, and you know what's around 20 or 25 miles or 27 or whatnot, but I keep going until I don't want to go anymore. And sometimes that just means stopping after 5 or 10 miles, especially on a Nero. I do that, but I don't know if you could see this. I hope you can, because it's beautiful. There's an opening in the trees. That beautiful green, all those farms. This is Rye Valley. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. I love the state of Virginia. Way up high, looking down below at the distant farms and all the bright green meadows. The gray Clouds raise o'er top of my head, and the trees begin to bloom, saying spring is just ahead. Nice bench with some logs to sit on for the fire pit. Mountains in the background, and down there's a lake or a pond. Look at this Mac Daddy of a shelter. This is called the Partnership Shelter. As you can see, all kinds of room in here. Very flat floors. Shower. They have the knob off. They don't have them turned on yet for the year. Or turned off. They have the knob out of there. That thing's locked up. I'm not sure what that is. Love the log cabin look though. Got a sink back here. And over here we got the fancy privy. That thing is royalty bathroom. And you got a clothesline out here. Pretty sharp looking. And up here is the Mount Rogers something or something, another office. I really don't know why they have an office that's so far from Mount Rogers. And this is the Forest Service for the Mount Rogers area, but we're a long way from Mount Rogers here. But not staying at that shelter, only another 7 miles or so. But apparently this is the one where if you get in and you want to order a pizza and that office is still open, you can go over there and order a pizza and have it delivered right here to the parking lot. I am going to pass on the pizza. Why would I want pizza when I have dehydrated meals and peanut butter? See, I kid you not, Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. It's a nice building. So I am here. Damascus is way down here. So that whole area, I guess, is considered Mount Rogers National Recreation Area. I guess. I don't really know. I just walk through forests and summit mountains. What do I know? I could probably go inside and ask, but nah. Look that way. Look that way. Everything's good. This is where we cross on the AT. About 6.5 or 7 more miles to go. Not a whole lot of blazes in this area. And the trail is really hard to see where it is at times. Pretty much everything is covered with roots, rocks, and leaves, whether it's the trail or not the trail. As you can see, like here, the leaves are pressed down a little bit more, so if your depth perception was off, that might be pretty rough to tell, but there's sometimes it doesn't even look like they're pressed down. They're just kind of loose like the rest of the area. So a little rough at times. You got to pay attention for sure. You don't want to go drifting off. Like right here, it's pretty easy to tell. But you definitely don't want to go drifting off over there or up here somewhere. And then all of a sudden, like, hold on, I'm at the edge of a cliff. Where's the trail? There's a blaze right there on that tree that's really faded. Right here. It's like this stuff here is actually whiter than the blaze itself. But then there's one up there, about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 trees in front of me that does have a pretty bright white blaze. So every once in a while you see them, and that helps. But they're definitely a little more few and far between in this area for some reason, and the trail is kind of hard to tell at times. A little more rugged trail. That's not a bad thing at all. I like that too. I definitely don't like doing that for a whole day or two. Definitely gets to the feet after a while, but it's about quarter to third to a half of the day here with the little rugged rocks and roots. Not that bad. Definitely been worse. I am definitely looking forward to getting my second pair or changing shoes, in other words, into my second pair here in about 90 or 100 miles, because I'm starting to feel it a little bit in the feet. The soles have definitely started to wear down, but by the time I get there, I will have gotten about 630 on the trail, probably about 40 or 50 of side trails, and then whatever I wore before I got here. That's pretty close to about 700 miles that I've gotten on these shoes, so that's perfect. That's kind of where I want to be, since I'm doing 3,500 miles this year. Between the AT and the miles I'm doing on the PCT after I'm finished with the AT this year, then there's about an additional 300 or so that I'm doing as a secret, I guess. Just so smaller trails and mountain summits that I'm doing. So it's about a total of 3,500 between the two and the additional 300 of like side trails and mountains and summits and such that I'm doing along with it. But 3,500 miles, if I'm getting 700 out of each pair, that would be 5 pair. If I'm doing 500, well, again, I have to do 7 pair. So I would much rather have to only have 5 pair, but obviously I don't want to hurt my feet either, so I don't want to wear them too long. And obviously places like Pennsylvania, certain areas, I won't really have too much out in the PCT, because I've done the Sierra and the other ones that, Yosemite, all these areas that are, pretty much granite that burn up shoes pretty quick. I've already done all that. So it's a lot of desert mountains and then northern Washington mountains. So I won't really have, they'll last a long time out there. But, the whites and, Maine and Pennsylvania definitely will take a toll on these shoes. So they might not last the 700 miles, all of them, or some of them might not. But if I could get close to 700 out of each one, that'd be great. Not really doing anything according to mileage, though. That's just kind of my math mind working there. Basically, when the thing starts wearing down or when they're starting to hurt my feet, it's time to get a new pair. So obviously I can get about 700 out, with the Olympuses here. So that's a good thing. But I'm looking forward to that, about 90 miles or so. Get some nice cushiony new shoes to wear leaving Petersburg. It's, I don't know, probably about 3 or 4 miles left today. I'll be right about 21 miles for the day. And I'll set up camp and make some dinner. Unless I change my mind right at the end, decide to keep going. I don't think I'm going to do that today, though, just based on where I am and what's ahead of me. Save that for in the morning. But should be a good night and a good dinner. Not a whole lot of mountain views today, but definitely have been some good views, and the forest has been beautiful, and some, great miles. Definitely some nice rocky trail, which the feet love. But it's been a good day, and it's not over yet, but it's been a good day, just a different kind of day. Not one of summiting one right after another or climbing way up and then way down. Just a lot of ridge walking and seeing the beautiful forest. This particular section right here of forest is messy, but yet beautiful. A lot of things going on here. Smaller trees and shrubs, and over here some dying leaves that kind of flap and make a noise in the wind. Bigger trees, all go in different directions. It's chaotic, but beautiful. Standing on the summit of Brushy Mountain, socked in with trees. There's actually 3 summits that come pretty quickly around each other, so I get to put some things in a bag today. Woohoo! It makes it all worth it for me. Brushy Mountain, looking beautiful with the sun peeking through, is in the bag. And Locust Mountain is in the bag. You know you're near a summit or the top of something, or getting close to the top of something, when you start seeing the trees like this. Really looks cool. Gets me excited when I see it. Like, yeah, I'm almost at the top. Standing on the summit of Glade Mountain, the very tippity top of the summit. Over here is the east. You can see the mountains through the trees. Right here is where it starts descending, going north. And then over here is west, where you could see down into the valley with towns or farms, or a lot of stuff going on down there, some roads. Probably Atkins, actually. It's about 3 miles from Atkins. But coming up here, this is all summit for like 3/4 of a mile back. It just kept going and going. Then this particular area was about, I don't know, 10 feet higher than the rest. So this is the summit. But I'm so happy that I got 3 summits when it looked like there was not going to be any according to the map, because it makes it all worth it for me. I love to conquer. I just don't like to walk. I mean, I got to get to the mountains, I know, but I love to get on top of those mountains. and be able to say the Glade Mountain is in the bag. Just to clarify, I do like to walk. I love to hike. I was just saying that I don't only want to hike or walk. I want to climb the mountains. So when I'm doing a lot of ridge walking and there's no mountains per se, it's still beautiful. I'm still taking it all in. But I'm a little disappointed when I don't get to climb any mountains and stand on top. That's all I was saying. I love walking though. What a beautiful view as the day comes to an end. It's bright and sunny now with some cumulus clouds. Started off cloudy and foggy and rainy and ended up bright and sunny with this beautiful view about a mile before where I'm setting up camp. Gorgeous. This is the creek that I had to cross over to get to the shelter, which is right here. So I have a creek really close for water tonight. That's awesome. I don't have to walk down a side trail or anything. It's not beautiful, but I'm not moving in. I'm just sleeping here and eating here tonight. Somebody left some sunglasses back there. Not bad. Even at least on the floor. I'm going to actually stay in the shelter tonight instead of the tent because there is supposed to be a chance of rain tonight. So that way I don't wake up wet because it's definitely supposed to rain the next day. So I want to make sure that tomorrow night I'm able to go to bed dry. This is home for the night. About 21.5 miles today. Not too much elevation, about 4,000. But that will either give me nightmares or a peaceful sleep. It could go either way with me. Sometimes, a story for another day, sometimes I get stressed when I hear a lot of rushing water because of some things on the PCT in the early days. I don't really like that sound. But sometimes it's peaceful, so who knows. Right there's where I take off in the morning. Everybody have a good night. I'm going to eat some food, probably some fettuccine Alfredo chicken. Yeah. Live life.